So, how does a simple idea become an unforgettable adventure? The kind you talk about for years. Well, it all comes down to the plan. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a simple story from a cartoon and break it down into a powerful case study, giving you a real, practical guide to the art of planning. Every great plan starts with a single spark. And in this story, this is it. Dad's exciting news. He walks in the door, and this one little sentence is the catalyst that's about to transform their entire weekend. It's kind of funny, right? The best adventures can pop up when you least expect them. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with how this whole adventure unexpectedly begins. Then, we'll get into the fun part, imagining the perfect trip. After that, we'll dive deep into the art of the checklist, see how preparation and excitement come together, and finally, watch the whole mission get accomplished. Okay, first things first. The number one rule of great planning, you have to recognize an opportunity, especially when it's disguised as something totally ordinary. And for this family, that opportunity was, well, it was just a work trip. So get this, Dad has a conference he has to go to in Dehradun. But instead of just seeing it as work, he spots this golden opportunity. The famous town of Rishikesh is less than an hour away. And just like that, a kind of boring business trip morphs into a spontaneous family getaway. Now that is how you turn an obligation into an adventure. So with the destination set, we officially enter what I like to call the dreaming phase. And listen, this part is absolutely critical. Before you book a single thing, before you pack a single sock, you have to get everyone's hopes out on the table. What does the perfect trip actually look like to each person? First up, we have Gatu, our adventurer. His vision is pure action, pure adrenaline. I mean, he can already see himself on that river, rafting, zip-lining through the mountains. In any group trip, he's the one representing that high-energy, fun-seeking side of things. And right away, we see this brilliant balance. Chinky's dream is totally different. She wants to light a diya, that's a ceremonial lamp, at a place called Triveni Ghat. Hers is a spiritual, a cultural goal. It's this quiet, meaningful moment that's just a perfect contrast to Gadu's high-octane plans. And to complete the picture, you've got Mom. Her ideal experience isn't about adventure or rituals. It's about pure relaxation. Just a simple cup of tea with a serene view of the river. So, think about that. Within one family, you have three totally distinct goals: adventure, spirituality, and tranquility. So, with all these dreams out on the table, it's go time. Dad opens up his laptop, and suddenly, the living room becomes their own little travel agency headquarters. Flights get confirmed, hotels get booked, and just like that, those dreams are officially on their way to becoming reality. Okay, this brings us to what might be the most critical part of this whole masterclass. How do you build a bridge from the dream to the reality? The tool for that? Well, it's the humble checklist. As Chinky wisely puts it, without a list, packing becomes panicking. A checklist isn't just some boring to-do list. It's a strategic document. It's literally the architecture for your adventure. It makes sure all those dreams, from the rafting to the serene cup of tea, can actually happen. This slide just visualizes it perfectly. You have two totally essential mindsets for planning. On one side, there's Gatu's list. It's all about the why of the trip, the fun, the snacks, the entertainment. On the other side, you've got Chinky's list, which is all about the how, the practical, fundamental stuff you just can't go without. And here's the key: a great plan needs both. So, who brings these two worlds together? Mom, of course. Her master list is the perfect synthesis. It supports Gatu's why with things like sunscreen and first aid, and it enables Chinky's how with those specific puja items she needs for her ceremony. This is the list that makes sure everyone's plans are both supported and safe. All right, with the master plan complete, it's time to bring it all to life. Welcome to the execution phase. This is where the lists on paper start turning into actual items in a suitcase, and all that preparation starts to feel really exciting. So the family breaks this whole phase down into three simple, clear actions. This isn't some chaotic rush, it's a methodical process. First, get what you don't have. Second, pack it all up intelligently. And third, double-check everything. Simple. So the shopping trip itself becomes a mission. Every single thing they buy has a purpose. They aren't just wandering around the store, they're systematically hunting down every item on their checklist. From the specific diya Chinky wanted for her ceremony to practical travel stuff like collapsible bottles. And here's a fantastic, practical little takeaway for all of us. Chinky shows off a smart folding technique. Now, this isn't just about being neat. It's about efficiency. Good planning really does extend to the smallest details, like how you pack your clothes to save space and avoid wrinkles. And here we go, you can see those two different styles in action again. Guttu's bag is this chaotic, freestyle mix of fun and function. Chinky's, on the other hand, is a masterclass in organization. Everything's neatly folded, compact, and perfectly checklist approved. So all that dreaming, all that list making, and all that systematic packing, it all leads to this moment, mission accomplished. This final stage is all about seeing how teamwork really does make the dream work. So when Dad gets home from work the next day, the mission is complete. He walks into a scene of perfect readiness. There's no last-minute panic, no running around. The bags are just lined up, the lists are all checked off, and the family's excitement is just through the roof. And Dad's reaction just says it all. He sees that the kids have taken real ownership of this whole process. The planning wasn't just his job. It was a real team effort. It just goes to show you, when you empower everyone to chip in, the outcome is always so much better. So the family has created what seems like a flawless plan. Every dream has been considered, every item is accounted for. But as any of us who have traveled know, the plan, well, it's just the beginning. The real adventure starts when that perfect plan smacks into the unpredictable real world. So what happens next? Well, that's a story for another time.